When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
This actually gets a smooth transition to this. This is a topic of discussion that I would like to discuss with you is why is so many of these 4 to 5 star quarterbacks transferring? As mentioned, we named a whole lot of 4 to 5 star guys who are rated in the top 10 in their respective recruiting class. Here is a great list that I've compiled for you, Antoine, of recent notable guys that are transferred. These all guys are top 10 quarterbacks. Hunter Johnson, Jacob Eason, Shea Patterson, Blake Barnett, Kyler Murray, Keller Chris, Ricky Town, Joe Burrow, Brandon Dawkins, Jalen McClellan, Quentin Dormady, Austin Kendall, Brady White, Kyle Allen, and KJ Carter-Samuels. All these guys at one point were a top 10 quarterback, and they are all on a new team, have transferred in all different situations, obviously. I did some research here from 2014 to 2016. 2014, 6 out of 10 top 10 quarterbacks transferred. Kyle Allen, Keller Christ, David Cornwell, Will Grier, Brandon Harris, KJ Carter-Samuels, all transferred. 2015, 6 out of 10, again, 60% of top 10 quarterbacks transferred. 8 out of 15 of the top 15 quarterbacks transferred. Jared Stidham, Blake Barnett, Kyler Murray, Ricky Town, Brady White, Travis Johnson, Quentin Dormady, Joe Burrow. In 2016, 50% of the top 10 quarterbacks transferred, 6 out of 15 top 15 quarterbacks transferred. Shea Patterson, Jacob Eason, Malik Henry, Patrick O'Brien, Thomas McVitie, Austin Kendall, and that's about it. 56% of top 10 quarterbacks transfer since 2014 to 2016. And this is a high statistic that I would have never thought, especially early on in recruiting, is when I started looking in around 2009 is when I first started looking at college football, high school football and college recruiting, and it's just been crazy to me that these notable 4 to 5 star guys, these top 10 QBs are transferring. And and obviously there's all different situations. A guy like Kyle Allen and a guy like Will Grier go into 2 different scenarios. Will Grier, transferred from Florida because of the alleged PED use. Where Kyle Allen was kind of like, both me and you have talked about this, of why his transfer happened is because Kevin Sumlin couldn't choose between him or Kyler Murray there at Texas A&M. And here's another thing. When do you think was the last number 1 overall quarterback to not transfer?
I really have no idea. Which one was it?
Matt Barkley in 2009 was the last number 1 overall quarterback to not transfer, believe it or not. Since then,
I mean, these kids these days, they get beat out here, and they don't want to work with things. Things get shifty with staffs. Things get there, and they just want their quick exit out, because it's not. Quarterback is a lot different from all those other positions, because you can utilize a second offensive lineman. Like, let's say I get beat out at left tackle by another really great player, I can go and play right tackle. If I'm a tight end, we can have 2 tight ends on the field. You can have 2 wide receivers on the field. You can have 2 running backs rotating in. Every position, there should be essentially 2 of those guys, or you move him to another spot. Quarterback is just one of you. So if you kind of lose out, it's kind of a lot of times ends up hurting a lot of these kids' feelings, and quarterbacks have to be a little bit sensitive. It's just history. It's just kind of always shown me that history, that quarterbacks are a lot of times are sensitive. That the fact that they got beat out, and a lot of times they don't want to have to wait their turn, and they're going to go on ahead and transfer and move on to another school. Or if they're not seeing eye to eye with the coaches, or they feel that there's another better opportunity, every kid should take their better opportunity to go out and transfer. So it's a generational thing of maybe entitlement, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think that's all on that either. I think it also has to do with a lot of elements as far as how coaches go in and out of the doors as well too,
Exactly.
And the kids all have options, and as long as you keep your options open, and transferring is always an option for these kids. So it's not that big of a deal deal to commit to a school anymore because that's not necessarily the place where you're going to graduate. You know, the recruiting should now have to say, like when those kids put on the hats and stuff like that when they're getting recruited for the next 4 years. No, just say that for next year I'm going to be taking my talents too. Don't say next 4 years because you're bogus. You know very well if you get beat out that you're going to go on ahead and transfer to another school. Don't act like you're going to attend that school for 4 years and you're so committed to it.
Exactly. It's like I said, almost as high as 60% of top 10 quarterbacks transfer. So,
and it's a trend. It's starting to be a trend with these quarterbacks. And, hey, they're kind of also they're also figuring out that, hey, that there's only one of these guys. They're not going to play two of us.
Exactly. And a guy that I've noted, and then this goes into my next list that I kind of written down here is notable guys most likely to transfer. I wrote Jalen Hurts from Alabama. More likely, Tua is going to be the number one guy there, and I full-on believe that Jalen Hurts would be the guy that's going to get beaten out, and he's most likely to transfer. Jake Fromm and Justin Fields, my bad, are guys that I have on this list as well, too. They kind of go into the same scenarios last year where Jacob Eason and Jake Fromm, almost, where it's kind of like if Jake Fromm messes up and Justin Fields comes in and dominates, well, guess what, Jake Fromm? Now you're now Jacob Eason on the team. You're now more than likely going to get beat out. It's not like they won't recruit another high talented named quarterback in this recruiting season. And Justin Fields, if Jake Fromm comes out and wins, goes undefeated, maybe wins the national title, are you willing to wait, 2 more years behind this guy almost?
Yeah.
Jack Shears out of USC. They're getting a guy, JT Daniels, coming in, and also looking in Jack Shears. I do believe that he may be the third string quarterback there once JT Daniels comes in. David Mills out in Stanford. If KJ Costello is a 5-year guy, David Mills is another number 2 overall recruit in his respective class that I'm looking at. He may transfer. Shane Buechele out of UT, getting beaten out by a true freshman out there in Texas. His days are also looking numbered as well. And Dylan McCaffrey, looking to get beat out in Michigan. Now that Shea Patterson's there, pretty much guaranteed the number 1 quarterback spot out there. And all these guys that notable Jim Harbaugh guys that he's recruited. He has recruited a lot of quarterbacks since he's gotten there. And, we have said before about how everybody almost has a short leash. That if you throw too many interceptions, hey, that's it, you're done, you're benched, I'm going to go to my new guy, my next guy. And any guys that you want to talk about on that list or any notable names that you feel like are going to be transferring soon?
No.
What about, here's a quick question. Where do you think Jalen Hurts should transfer to? Like, what type of school should he go to?
Well, a school that's a little bit more open to him doing that, but I don't necessarily think that his future might be at quarterback if he wants to go on to play in the pros, and I don't want to get too deep into the draft stuff, but I don't necessarily think that he's a quarterback, and I think that it might be best suited for him to move over and slide over at running back. I know he's really strong. I've seen the videos, obviously, of him squatting crazy amounts of weights and leaping over freaking a ridiculous amount of boxes. So, yeah, I know that he's really athletic, really strong lower body. It wouldn't be surprising to me if he just decided to go to another school and play a different position. It's not even out of the realm of possibility. But if he wants to stick at quarterback, it's a school like Texas would be an opportunity. A school like maybe Auburn, if Jared Stidham leaves over down there. I know that wouldn't make Alabama fans happy, but Auburn would be a good opportunity for him. Gus Malzahn would definitely know how to use Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he would need to go to a spread offense where power running is relatively the main focus of it. Like we said about like Ohio State, UT, and Auburn come to mind when it comes to power running football spreads, essentially. Where running the football both through the quarterback and the running back is the main focus of setting up the spread option pass of the RPOs, And so I think that's the type, if he wants to stick at quarterback and he feels 100% that he agrees that he's a quarterback and that's what he's going to play at the next level, then I think that those are the types of schools that he should go to as well.